So then from what Adam says is that, you can't have 2 points at infinity. You can only have 1 point at infinity because, whether you go to the left, to the infinite left, or to the infinite right, okay, or north or south, they have to merge into one. Okay, so when I was doing this last year, I basically didn't understand what this was. I was just amazed by the symmetry of these images. It's not just this one, but as you can see, I have like numerous representations of these images. For example, when you look at this one, okay, it looks super symmetrical and looks amazing. Okay, so at that time I was just excited what these were. I didn't know what they were. I was like, well, this looks cool. Okay. But then now that I read Adams and he's talking about the concept of projective geometry and, points at infinity, planes at infinity, and the concept of polar reciprocity of forces, and how these create the tension between two aspects that then lead into the emergence of form. Okay, form. So form, basically, you can see, you can you can view it from the perspective of the transformation in geometry that leads to the finalized forms in the Euclidean space. Okay, so one of the this one was, I think this one was the most amazing one that I did, because when I looked at it, I was like, wow, this was cool. Okay, I didn't understand what it was from that perspective. Okay, then that one, this one too. So I think it's the same, just zoomed from a different scale. This one. Okay, so I have over 400 of these generations. Okay, these ones, and I think in some way they are representing this idea that Adams is speaking about of the point at infinity, which then leads to the understanding of the plane at infinity. Okay, these images are these generations were generated by trigonometric functions. Okay, there wasn't any any drawing or art. It was just trigonometry. Okay, so as you can see, it's nothing crazy. The only thing you are seeing is basically symmetry everywhere. Symmetry. Okay, and what is even interesting is how for example, how when I did this, I realized that odd numbers and even numbers led to different symmetries. Okay, for example, all these were based on odd numbers. Okay, all these symmetries that are radiating out from one center into the into the surrounding infinity of the generation, these ones are based on odd numbers, okay? Because I remember when I did them. But these ones are based on even numbers, okay? So these ones are based on even numbers. So yeah, these ones too were based on even numbers. So I do have a lot more of these generations on my computer. It's just that there isn't power on right now. I could have shown you some of these. Maybe I'll include them if I edit this video. But from here, this concept of polarity that Adam speaks about started to make sense to me. Okay. So from there, this concept that Adam is speaking about of polar aspects of the same whole, okay, started to make sense to me because it's not just George Adams who is referring to this aspect of pole based aspects, okay. I remember back when was it? Before I mention that, the book Living Energies, that is based on the works of Schauberger, Victor Schauberger, the Austrian inventor from the 30s and 40s, spoke of basically the book is based on his works, and it speaks about pole-based relations of different forces. For example, you know, heat, cold. So the concept of polar-based, you know, centripetons versus centrifuges, for example, and how that relates to the idea of the suction spiral. So it's a good book to read. And then, of course, I did mention the Vortex of Life by Lawrence Edwards. So, and then last week, a friend of mine told me of a certain book called shouldn't be taking me this long to find the title of a book.